Now, you already mentioned it kind of at the outside of the conversation. One of the things you go over in the book is these layers of reading. Could you go into that in a little bit more detail?
Yeah. So most people, when they think about reading a book, they think that means you read every word carefully, slowly, such that you could be quizzed on it and you would know what's in the book. So you really master the content. And that is a good way to read the best books. We want to read some books that way, but we can't read every book that way. Um, Especially if you want to read widely. So I'm a research professor, which means I'm supposed to be reading a lot and widely, which means sometimes I'll give a book all of 30 seconds. So that if I go through it super fast, I'd call that surveying, where I size up who's the author, what's the book about, what's its argument, what's it, this do an X-ray, what's its skeletal structure, um, who's recommending this book, are they people that are trustworthy? Um, you can size up a book really quickly. And I do that for lots of books daily. And then in between, so you could survey in 30 seconds, you can survey for 10 minutes or an hour. In between, there's what I call macro reading, which is like listening to an audiobook. You're reading every word, but you're not stopping along the way. You're moving, you got a clip. The micro reading could be a combination of the first of micro reading and macro reading. It's kind of like if you're driving down the highway, you're going 60 miles an hour and the traffic gets a little thicker and you're down to 40, maybe down to 20, might be rolling down to 3 or 2, then back up to 60. Reading can be like that as well. But just having those categories in your head can be freeing, because you might be reading a book and think, this book is really boring right here, really badly written, but I paid $10 for this book. I got to read every word and I have to finish this book before I move on to the next one. And I've just given this gift to so many people is free your wrongly informed conscience. You do not have to finish every book you read, and you do not have to read every word of every book you read. It's just not necessary. Life's too short to waste it on bad books.
Yeah, I had to learn that lesson years ago. Is I finally let myself not finish a book, and yeah, it is freeing. It's like this weight that you've been carrying for no reason. It's like, oh, I can just stop, and nothing bad happened.
That's good.
Yeah. So when you're surveying, are you doing that to decide whether it's worthwhile to macro or micro read? Why are you surveying?
Many reasons. One of them is kind of like what you might do when you're on Amazon and you look at the look inside feature. You're thinking, what is this book about? Do I want to invest resources, time, and money into this book or not? So it could be you're just trying to size it up. Another reason is you are trying to figure out if this is a tool that you'll want to use later. So maybe you're writing a book or an article or preparing a sermon series or whatever, and you're trying to figure out, is this a book I want to come back to? So you look it over and think, oh, this is definitely what I want to come back to. And then you put that tool in your tool shed or in your somewhere where you can access it. Um, Another reason is you might try to figure out, is this a book that I should be concerned about that could wrongly or badly influence people I'm trying to shepherd? Is this something I need to be aware of? Or is this something that I would enjoy reading on vacation? Or is this something I'd enjoy reading for? There are all kinds of reasons to survey. You're basically doing intel. It's a just kind of scoping out what is this thing about, so that you can then make the next steps of the decisions of how you might use it in the future.
Yeah, really helpful.